Students, in the previous video lecture, we already have derived equation for acceleration due to gravity. Equation for acceleration due to gravity is capital G, capital M divided by R plus H whole square. This is at certain height H. If you are going from the surface of the earth, if you are going to higher altitudes, as the denominator increases, acceleration due to gravity decreases. Now let us have a proof for that. Now let me consider acceleration due to gravity at some height is h dash. Acceleration due to gravity on the surface of earth is g. G is acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth. So on the surface of the earth, h is equal to 0. And as you are going to higher altitudes, this is a h dash, which is acceleration due to gravity at certain height. So I can write G is equal to capital G, capital M divided by R square. This is on surface of earth. Acceleration due to gravity at certain height h is capital G, capital M divided by R plus H whole square. This is at height h. Now from this I will just write h outside. It is R by h plus 1 whole square. H I have took it out. So it is R by h plus 1. That is G. Okay, I'm sorry. Instead of taking h, I'll take R outside. If I take it R out, I'll take it R out. It is h divided by R plus 1. It is 1 plus h divided by R. This is G M divided by R square into 1 plus h by R whole square. This is equal to capital G, capital M divided by R square into 1 plus, it is 1 plus h by R whole power minus 2. So acceleration due to gravity at height h can be written as capital G, capital M divided by R square into 1 plus h by R whole square. But what is G M by R square? This is acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth. So it is G into 1 plus h divided by R whole power minus 2. Now this is an expression. You can expand it, which can be written in this form: G into 1 minus 2h by R. Higher order terms can be neglected since h is very much less than capital R. As height which you are taking from the surface of the earth is usually very less than that of radius of the earth. Therefore, higher order terms h square by R square, h cube by R cube, those all higher order terms can be neglected if you expand this series. So finally, you can write it as acceleration due to gravity at height h is G into 1 minus 2h divided by R. This is equation for acceleration due to gravity. Clearly, you can understand as height increases, the right side term, it is 1 minus 2h by R, it goes on decreases. So therefore, acceleration due to gravity decreases with respect to height. G decreases with height. So at some distance, h is equal to R by 2. At some distance, h is equal to R by 2. Acceleration due to gravity can be taken as 1 minus 2 by R into R by 2, which is equal to 0. Therefore, as you are going to higher altitudes at a distance equal to radius of r by 2, that means half of the radius of the earth. Usually radius of earth is 6400 kilometer. If you are going to half of its height, that means h is equal to 3200 kilometer. If you are going to half of its height, according to this equation, acceleration due to gravity would become 0. That means if you are going still, like if you are going to higher altitudes, as g decreases, at certain point Earth's acceleration due to gravity should become 0, and that position is 3200 kilometer nearly from the center of the earth. At that distance, acceleration due to gravity will be 0, and beyond that height, if you are going, you will be pulled towards another planet, because as you are moving away from the planet earth, you will be going to another planet which is closer to the earth. You'll be going away from the earth and towards another planet. So therefore that planet will attract you rather than earth. That is the reason why acceleration due to gravity beyond that height, beyond 3200 kilometer, you will be pulled towards the other planet. So acceleration due to gravity will be coming as negative. So if you take this h greater than r by 2, the value here is negative value. That negative represent that you are being pulled away from the earth. You will be pulled away from the earth because you will be attracted by another planet near to the earth rather than that of earth's acceleration due to gravity. You will be pulled with another pulled by another planet. Therefore you will be directed towards that planet. That's the reason why g value will become negative. So finally the conclusion is acceleration due to gravity decreases with respect to height. As we go to higher altitudes, its value decreases, and finally at certain position it will become 0. Beyond that, if you are moving still away from the surface of the earth, you will be pulled by another planet. Therefore you will be directed towards that object's gravitational force, and you will be calculating acceleration due to gravity due to that planet but not due to earth. Now let us learn how does acceleration due to gravity varies with respect to depth. Now this is the surface of earth. From the surface of the earth you are going deep into the earth up to certain distance d. This is the depth where you are now. I want to now calculate acceleration due to gravity at this position. So what I do, I'll consider acceleration due to gravity at these two values as, these two positions as, on the surface of the earth, however it is g, and at the depth d, I can consider it as gd, where it is acceleration due to gravity at depth d. Now when you are going deep into the surface of the earth, what is happening to the effective radius? Effective radius is decreasing. So when you are going deep into the surface of the earth, you need to calculate mass of this sphere with radius equal to r minus d. Acceleration due to gravity will not be due to total mass because effective radius decreases as you go deep. Effective radius is decreasing, which results in effective decrease in the mass. So as mass decreases, acceleration due to gravity would decrease. Therefore, you should remember that acceleration due to gravity decreases with depth. That's very important point to be noted. Acceleration due to gravity decreases with depth because as we go deep into earth, its effective mass decreases its effective mass decreases. Therefore, G decreases. Therefore, acceleration due to gravity decreases. Now, on the surface of the earth, you can write it as acceleration due to gravity. G is equal to capital G, capital M divided by R square. Now, what about acceleration due to gravity at depth D? So, acceleration due to gravity at depth D will be capital G is however constant. M is M dash. M dash is mass of the effective mass of the planet which you are considering at depth D. So it is G M dash divided by R minus D whole square, because effective distance is R minus D. Effective mass is M dash. This is at depth D. Now let me take this as equation number 1. Let me take this as equation number 2. I will now calculate mass of the planet. Mass of this effective mass of the planet. We know density of the earth is mass by volume, which is capital M divided by 4 by 3 pi r cube. And this should be equal to M dash divided by 4 by 3 pi into R minus D whole cube, because density for total earth would be remain same. Therefore, it is for the total earth mass, it is M divided by 4 by 3 pi r cube, and for the effective mass, it is M dash divided by its effective radius is R minus D. 4 by 3 pi, 4 by 3 pi gets cancelled. So M dash can be written as capital M divided by R cube into R minus D whole cube. Now this simply substituted in equation 2 using 3 in 2. So if you write that in equation 2, you can just substitute equation 2 in equation 3 in equation 2, which gives you acceleration due to gravity at a depth D will be capital G divided by R minus D whole square into M dash is equal to capital M divided by R cube into R minus D whole cube. This and this gets cancelled. Remained is G minus D equal to capital G capital M divided by R square into R minus D divided by R. But what is Gm by R square? Gm by R square is acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth. So G at depth D will be equal to small g into 1 minus D divided by R. This is equation for acceleration due to gravity with depth. Clearly you can understand from this equation, as depth increases, the second term increases. As the second term is increasing, this term is, see, as depth d value is increasing, this term increases, 1 minus that will be less value. So therefore acceleration due to gravity decreases with depth. At some distance d is equal to r. D is equal to r in the sense at center of earth. At center of earth d will be equal to r. Therefore acceleration due to gravity at depth d will be g into 1 minus 1, which is equal to 0. So acceleration due to gravity at the center of earth is 0, and from the center, if you are going out towards the surface of the earth, it increases, and beyond that acceleration due to gravity will be decreased. These are the important points regarding acceleration due to gravity variation with depth and height. So we have derived equations for acceleration due to gravity at height h and also at a depth d. Now let us plot graph for acceleration due to gravity variation with depth and as well as height. If you observe carefully these two equations, of course in both the cases acceleration due to gravity decreases from the surface of the earth. Acceleration due to gravity, G is maximum at surface of earth. Only on the surface of the earth acceleration due to gravity it is maximum, and that will be equal to 9.8 meter per second square. And remember that G decreases rapidly with depth. Rather than height. G decreases rapidly with depth rather than height. So that means if you are going to a depth of 100 kilometer, the acceleration due to gravity decreases rapidly. It decreases more than that of acceleration due to gravity at height 100 kilometer. Okay, so that's what it is, because in the numerator there is only mass m. Acceleration due to gravity is directly proportional to mass m, but inversely proportional to square of the radius. So with more, like with mass, it will be more decreased than that of radius. That's the reason why. So as we go deep, the acceleration due to gravity decreases rapidly than that of acceleration, decrease in the acceleration due to gravity from certain height, right? So that's one important point you should remember. Now let us plot graph for that. Graph for variation of acceleration due to gravity with the height. This is center. We are considering this as center of the earth. At the center of the earth, acceleration due to gravity is 0. G is 0 at the center of the earth. Now as we are going deep, like as you go from the center, if you are going outward towards this radius r, this is r, and exactly on the surface of the earth its value is 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, so therefore as we are going towards the radius, acceleration due to gravity slowly increases like this, and beyond that acceleration due to gravity decreases. Therefore you will be plotted a graph like this. So acceleration due to gravity will be maximum at the surface of the earth, and that is 9.8 meter per second square. And as you go out from the center, acceleration due to gravity increases. On the surface of the earth it is maximum. Beyond the surface, acceleration due to gravity decreases. So here this is GD and this is GH, which is inversely proportional to R plus H whole square. This is a graph plotted for variation of acceleration due to gravity with the depth and as well as with height. So acceleration due to gravity, as I already told you, like this can be a straight line. This is G at a depth D, which is proportional to R minus D. So as D value goes on increases, acceleration due to gravity will be changed. This is graph plotted for G versus depth and as well as height. Students, as we know that Earth always rotates. Earth always rotates, and along with rotation, it will be revolving around the sun. It rotates and as well as revolve. So whenever Earth is rotating, there will be a centripetal and centrifugal force acting on the mass which is placed on the surface of the earth. Therefore, when we are dealing with this, let me consider here is mass small m. Upon this mass, there will be a gravitational force towards the center of the earth, and from that point, there will be a centrifugal force which is acting outward. So because rotation of the earth, due to rate of rotation of the earth, acceleration due to gravity also changes. Therefore, G which is placed at different positions will have different acceleration due to gravity. So let me derive an equation for that. Now, if we are considering acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth, it is like at this point there will be gravitational force which is acted downward, and there will be a centrifugal force which is acting outward. This is centrifugal force. This is centrifugal force, and there will be gravitational force acting on the surface of the earth, that is in downward direction. And this angle, we are calculating acceleration due to gravity at angle lambda with respect to x-axis. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. This position is called equatorial position, and this is pole of the earth. So with respect to equatorial position, you are calculating acceleration due to gravity at an angle lambda from surface of the earth. Now, as acceleration like gravitational force and centrifugal force both are not in the same direction, you need to resolve them into components. You can resolve them into components, and you can write the final expression as acceleration due to gravity at some lambda, at certain position lambda, is G minus omega square r square into cos square lambda. This is equation for acceleration due to gravity at certain position lambda. Just you resolve centrifugal force into components. F net will be equal to gravitational force minus centrifugal force, which gives you this equation. So I can just resolve that. I'll make it simple. So this is centrifugal force. I'll be just resolving this into components. One component along this direction, one component along this direction. And this is angle lambda. And this become Fc into cos lambda. So F net, I can write it as gravitational force mg minus component of centrifugal force. This is equal to mg minus centrifugal force is m into v. V is r omega, r square omega square into cos square lambda divided by r. Mv square divided by r. Okay, but v is equal to r omega. I'll just write it as r omega. Now from here you can just take this F net is equal to m into a. You can write this as m into g dash, which is equal to mg into, so we already have considered v is equal to r omega. So we are writing v in terms of omega. So r in the denominator will be vanished. It will be mg minus m omega square r square into cos square lambda, which gives you m common. It is g minus omega square r square into cos square lambda, which is equal to m into g dash. This m and m gets cancelled. So g dash is equal to g minus omega square r square into cos square lambda. This is the equation which we have derived. If lambda is equal to 0, Lambda is equal to 0 in the sense on equatorial. On equatorial, cos 0 will be equal to 0. So G dash will be equal to G minus omega square into R square. If lambda is equal to 90, that is at poles, G dash will be equal to G minus 0, which is equal to G. Therefore, at poles, acceleration due to gravity is maximum, and at equatorial, acceleration due to gravity is minimum. So G is maximum at poles and minimum at equatorial. It is due to rate of rotation of the earth. So as depending upon the rate of rotation of the earth, at equatorial, acceleration due to gravity will be slightly less than that of acceleration due to gravity at poles. G value at pole is maximum, and that itself is 9.8 meter per second square. So from the pole, if you are coming towards the equatorial point, acceleration due to gravity gradually decreases, and that decrease will be very small. It's not too large, it's very small because R value is very large over here, and omega, which is rate of rotation, that is also very less. So the change in acceleration due to gravity from poles to equatorial is not that much greater. It's very small change.